All right, I'll try as quickly as I can walk you through my deck lights that I installed. They're like a $80, if you go on Amazon, RGB waterproof, completely waterproof LED rock light kit. I got the 6-pack for the front with the controller in there, which you just link to via Bluetooth. And then the 4-pack for 2 underneath the seat and 2 on the back deck. And I mounted the controller back right there with some JB Weld and 2 little stainless screws, short ones. Then basically, guys, gals, just mark where you want your lighting. I just used a square and lined up on this off the cooler and driver's side ride locker and centered, and then measured that for that light. Here I did it off of the hinge point on the center compartment, same over there. And here I just put this in the corner as it would best flush fit, and then mounted it, whatever the distance was. I think it was like 10 inches. So for the install, I'll walk you through this. Back here, you drill these holes out, mount with your stainless steel screws, which also were a kit from Amazon. Same with these. I did use the rubber bumper that these comes with. There's another guy that has a video out there that he didn't. In order to get the connection through here, as you can see, here they are. You need a 9/16 Spade bit right here, and it's still a pretty snug fit. It's not bad actually, and then you're gonna need a bunch of drill bits. You can get this stainless steel screw kit on Amazon. I'll link that as well. Keep in mind this T20 Torx bit has a hole in the middle of it. Do not lose this, as every one of these has that stud in the middle. I just used the 3/4 inch. They were plenty long, along with some silicone on each when I drilled them in, and then I put some silicone on the top side of this big hole, but then this rubber gasket helps seals it off as well. Wiring it underneath the console, I just used your standard butt connectors for most of it, with some covers. And then once I got it wired to the switch, this was kind of a disaster. I'm not an electrician, but I'm gonna tape those up. I got some waterproof wire nuts, and I ran the power from that one through the gunnel here, ran this power for this one underneath through here with a fish tape, and came up and then went through this porthole and then pulled it up through here and into here. And then I connected it all underneath, and then you just run the power line to the open pole on your accessory switch to give it power, and then I just linked in my grounds with the previous grounds. Let's see, for fish tape, I bought this one on Amazon. This worked great for the 2 back. Those you don't really need it, but you can use it to slide it underneath your center console. For these 2 in the rod locker, I'll show you those in a second. I actually went through the rod locker and up and tapped into the bottom tube in here, and then pulled that through all the way through the tube up into here. The trickiest ones were these front 2 by far. I actually had to use my metal fish tape, not this one, but this one, which you can get on Amazon. I cut the big end off of it and put a little tape over it so it didn't scratch or screw anything up on the inside. And I bored out, cut these holes, drilled them out, used the spade bit for here, bored it out, and then there was like a thin fiberglass rib here as well on that side. And I had to very carefully, start with a small bit and then a larger bit and then a larger bit without angling it too hard and screwing up my gel coat, and getting that hole big enough where I could run this steel fish tape through here and around and into this box, into the wire compartment. I then taped, not this wire end, I wouldn't recommend using that. Then I taped this end to this end of the fish tape in sequence, right? In line, parallel, whatever. When it was in here, pulled this back out to get that fish tape out of this hole, and then took this fish tape as this was sticking out of this hole, like here, and then just pretend my finger's the plug for the lights. I inline taped it right on the end of this and used black duct tape, because this is pretty slick, and wrapped it fairly well, but not too much so it wasn't too much more of a diameter. And then used that and then pulled this back out this way and got all the wires inside here and connected them all to the control box. I'll show you the rod locker here real quick and how to get into those, because as you know, Rangers are filled with foam. They love foam. It's a safety feature, right? That's what we tell ourselves. You can see up in there where, I gotta vacuum that out, but so I cleaned that out with a big drill bit to get to the tubing, and then used another, like a bore or drill bit's fine, and drilled a hole in the tubing and ran the backlight and that middle light through that tube on each side, up one at a time, starting with the backlight, starting with the front light, ran that one, or the middle light I should say, ran that one, and then ran the backlight. And the trick for running these to get from there into your rod locker is, it's easy. Once you get the hole drilled out with the spade bit or wafer bit, that 9/16, whatever you want to say, you take that green fish tape, the metal end, and you go basically straight vertical and push it in, and you'll hit foam, and you just keep pushing it, and you don't have to go very far, and you'll pop out through that foam into the rod locker. And then that's when you can get your path to get the wire into the rod locker, and then go forward and clean out an area, cut the hole, drill the hole in the tube and push your wires through. I will say that tubing is resilient. So as you're pulling it in and you've got the connection for this light taped to your fish tape, and you get to that tube, reach in there and help push it in and then go through. Same thing with any of these angles. Make sure you've got it bored out enough going forward at an angle so that you can work that fish tape and that plug for the light through there easily. You shouldn't have to force anything. The only one that I had to be a little bit not difficult, but forceful with was this one here, and just getting it down on the angle. And then, I pulled both my seats out, which those are easy, right? You pull the center piece off, take the bolts out, and it just lifts out. But these just ran right back down through here, and that's it. And the back deck, I just centered there, and then these I just centered between the handles and the vent ports. So I hope that helps. Write a comment below if you got any questions. We'll try to link everything that I bought for it on Amazon. And then one last thing, I guess. If you guys, mine's a 2015 Z119. I used 2 of these wipes on my side panels after I used painter's tape around the edge. And this was beyond sun faded. I mean, it would look like trash, and it restored it to brand new. It was probably the best. I don't know what I spent on that, 25 bucks. 25 bucks I've spent on this boat so far. And I did it on both of these and cleaned them up. The guy that had it before me, I think, had it sitting on a boat lift and without a cover. So anyways, hope that helps.